Wait, you keep saying album. Like
I'm putting out an album this year. I'm going to put out an album this year for sure.
The first
to hear
Me
it.
and Jake will be fighting for first stream.
And the first to hear about this song too.
Hi friends, welcome back to the Friendzone. It's your host Symonne Harrison, and I'm here with the one and only
Lauren.
And today we have a really fun topic. There is a lot of things we're going to be talking about, but first of all, if anyone by chance is crazy and doesn't know you, give us a little rundown. Like,
oh God,
who are you? Who's Lauren?
I'm a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, you are.
Honestly, that's basically it.
She
Just
is,
kidding.
as of recently, known for raising her Yaya. The second Jake told me that you had a singing lesson with her, I was like, "There's."
I know they like messaged me like, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yes." And honestly, since I came back, like I'm better.
Do you actually like?
Yes, I've been
Yaya
going
good?
around my house and like, okay, well, I didn't grow up like doing a lot of singing lessons or like I wasn't in like theater or anything like that, so I never knew what like singing in like your mixed tone was. Like I feel like I'm such like a chest singer.
Yeah.
And so I like kept telling her that. I was like, I don't really know. And like the Yaya just like helps you like really place it. I've been singing higher notes than I've ever sung in my life.
How did you get into music? I feel like I've never asked you.
Wait,
that.
honestly, I never even know how to answer this question. I feel like I always liked music. Like there's videos of me at like 5 years old being like, I want to be a singer. Like
That's
I just
so
always
cute.
knew. But honestly, I started doing it at a really young age. Like I would always like enter singing competitions. So
Cute.
embarrassing. Then when I was like 11, I randomly entered this contest to sing with Keith Urban.
Oh my God, no way.
And so I sung with Keith Urban on stage. And I always say that was like my first, like, okay, I want to do this like for the rest of my life thing. And then I started a YouTube channel and then like
That's
started
so
it
cute.
there.
You're from Canada, right? What
Yeah.
part?
Vancouver Island.
Cute. I've never been.
Yeah,
but
you have to go.
visit.
You have to come.
I have to come visit.
Yeah.
Also, just like side note, like you have the prettiest green eyes.
Wait.
I was just like looking at you talk, and I was like,
I think it's because I'm wearing green.
the eyes, the jacket.
Thank you.
Such a slay.
That is so nice.
Also, if you've watched the podcast before, you know we always have a live audience, but we have a new addition to the live audience. We have my cousin Jake today.
Let's go, boys! Wait, I'm taking this thing very seriously. I don't know how much I'm supposed to chat, but I love talking. But I'm gonna keep it to a minimum.
And Jake is on the podcast as well, but he's also a live audience member today.
I'll do anything for an ounce of attention. Love you, Lauren. Love you, Symonne.
Want to wake up every morning looking absolutely fabulous? Well, you can thanks to today's sponsor, Blissy. My Blissy pillowcase is actually doing so much more for my skin and my hair health than half the stuff in my bathroom cabinet. Oh, so you don't believe me? This is a prime example of what happens when you don't have a Blissy pillowcase. Tired, bags underneath your eyes, lots of frizz. Thanks to Blissy, this is how I woke up. Within weeks, you'll notice smoother skin, less frizz, and healthier hair that will actually keep its style overnight. Unlike satin synthetic pillowcases, these are made from 100% mulberry silk. And I mean, you could tell, like, look how shiny they are. Blissy's clinically proven not to clog pores. It also has anti-aging properties to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. Also, it's dermatologist approved. With 70 different colors, including the new Wicked and Harry Potter line, it's no wonder why Blissy was voted best gift of 2024. Blissy for everyone! Over 3 million sold. They're machine washable. Oh, and it's naturally cooling, so no more sweaty nights for me, which is game changing. Also shown on live shows like The View, Good Morning America, and Oprah Daily. Because you are a lovely listener of the Friendzone, Blissy's actually offering you 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/friendzone. That's BLISSY.com/friendzone and use code friendzone at checkout for an additional 30% off. Thank you again, Blissy, for sponsoring this segment of the Friendzone. Time to go back to Lauren. Bye, guys.
Okay, so fake friends. In general, I feel like we get a lot of, I was homeschooled most of my life. Even like making friends was like a little, once I was homeschooled, like I had a bunch of friends back home in Ohio, but moving to California was like kind of harder to make friends. And then also like navigating through that as well. But I feel like a lot of people ask for like advice for like friends in like high school or college, but like I can give what I think, but I never personally experienced that. Were you homeschooled as well?
Honestly, I wish I was homeschooled. I hated high school. Like truly, like I don't hate everyone I went to high school with, but like
it's in that like development stage where you're like finding out like who you are and like you're very cliquey and like you're into like, dating and it's just like not
I don't even want like I was never like a perfect angel. I just think like high school is like a combination of a bunch of people who are just like super insecure and like don't know who they are and then they just like make fun of everybody. It's actually like the hardest ever to make friends in high school. Like I always tell people like just like your high school friends, like you're gonna make new friends and like change and grow and like I have one friend that I went to high school with that I'm still friends with and I love her, but aside from that, like I'm not really friends with anyone.
Yeah, it's also like I feel like everyone then goes to college and most of time is out of state and then you kind of like just the friendships just dissolve.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll have like rivalries or whatever in high school, but then like once you go to college, everything just kind of dissolves. Again, not speaking from experience, just speaking from like some of the things my friends. Well,
also like some people are just like truly evil and like bad people that you should always stay away from. Like there's so many people I went to school with that I'm like, I'm not even like mad, and like you bullied me, and I'm not mad. Like if they came up to me, I'd be like, no beef. Like let's be positive. And like they still hate me for absolutely no reason. And I'm like, I've never spoken to you before. Like what?
Yeah.
Like high school is so it's crazy. Like high school is so cliquey. But yeah, like people go to college, everybody moves on. Like it just becomes a better space afterwards.
I had one that I like prominently remember in my brain, bully. And it was outside of school. It was inside like this group I was with like 24/7 for like 2.5 years. And it was one of those things, so like everyone loved the person. And then behind closed doors, I was like, this person made me cry every single day.
How could somebody bully you? I feel like you're like so wholesome.
One time I got shoved into a locker.
Wait, you want to okay, if you wanted the pluses, that you're like so small and petite that like you fit in the locker.
Oh my God, stop it. Thank you. That's what I needed. That's what I needed. Hey, like whatever. Like it's one of those things that's like no hard feelings. I also think most of it's trauma blocked. I just like mostly was like, let's.
Are you a grudge holder?
No. I think I remember things, but like when I see them, I go up and say hi to them in public. Yeah. Even if they don't say hi, because it's like, whatever. Like we were younger.
You're a bigger person than me.
I do sometimes hold grudges, like a little. I really try not to.
Well, I guess it depends on the thing. Like sometimes there's a line and I'm like, you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, okay, you were young. Like it's okay.
I also think it's the age as well. Because if it's like high school or like, for example, I think I was like 15, like 14, 15.
Yeah, we all didn't know
That's
better.
like one thing.
Yeah.
But like if it's something where like they're old enough to know.
Yeah, if you're a grown ass bitch and you're bullying someone, that's crazy.
Yeah, you cross the
Get
line
a life.
and you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Do you have any like crazy fake friends story times?
Honestly, I feel like I feel like being in LA, people are crazy here.
That is a very commonly known thing. Yeah. Everyone is psycho. So like finding each other is like a miracle.
I'm like very shocked at like the people that I became friends with in LA. Like I feel like everybody's so kind and like normal. But I feel like there's so many people, I don't know, everyone just wants something from you here. And it's really hard to tell sometimes because people seem so nice and you're like, oh my God, wait, I think they want to hang out with me. Then like I hang out with people and then I'm like, wait, like they took like a selfie with me or like they like put me on their story or like, I don't know. I feel like that's not normal. Like I wouldn't hang out with you and then be like, oh my God, like let's post it on our stories and be like brunch with Symonne. Like it's like maybe like if we were hanging out for like multiple days in a row, but if I like just saw you, I would never feel the need to like.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like you can just tell when it's like genuine or when it's not.
Well, also I feel like most of the time, like I'm a very like, I love to document things, but I feel like even if I'm like documenting it, is like 90% of the things I document don't get posted. Yeah. Like I'll make things specifically for like socials, but other than that, like it's just for me and my personal memories. Like I filmed a video like earlier of like I surprised Jake with something when he walked through the door, but like that video's not getting posted.
Yeah, but it's also like different if like you hang out with people often.
All the time.
And then like you're videotaping it. But like if I don't know if I'm just like self-aware, but like if I hung out with someone for like the first time, like I would not take pictures. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want them to think that like I'm using them or like I don't want to think them like that's what this is. But like once you get to know someone, it's like, I mean, I film stuff all the time with like my friends and that's like normal and they're not like, oh my God, she's a clout chaser. But I feel like you can just tell.
Oh, yeah. It's like just I think also like people's delivery, the way they go about it, like things can be delivered wrong, but I feel like you can hear like, there's a difference. Like
100%.
You just have to live it to experience it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like a fake friend story time, but I got a detention on behalf of my friends. And let me tell you, I was a straight A student, never got a B.
Wait, you can get detention in homeschool?
Well, back before I was homeschooled.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to clear that up. That's like, a very good
wait,
thing to clear up.
when? I was like, oh my God, wow, they're strict out here.
Yeah, I got timeout.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The corner.
But this is probably like 2nd or 3rd grade, like before I moved to California. And I had this group, there was like 3 other girls like in this like little like group we had, and assigned seating, you know. And I was like in the row in front of them, and they were the 3 people behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously I went to like a very strict like private school.
Mm-hmm.
So like we had uniforms,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Wait,
you know
that's
the vibes.
iconic.
So we couldn't like pass notes or like no phones like even allowed on campus. They'll search your bags, like crazy.
Oh
right?
my God.
And I was so young at that time. It was like 2nd or 3rd grade. Like I had an iPod Touch,
yeah.
you know. So
Wow, in 1st grade.
crazy.
Wait, how old are you though?
18.
Wait, you're only 18?
Yeah.
Wait, this whole time I've known you, I thought you were like 24.
I don't know if I should take this
Wait,
as a compliment or not.
what? Oh my God. Wait, you're just so mature.
Oh my God, thank you, queen.
Wait, okay, yes, you definitely had an iPod Touch in grade 1.
I had like a little notebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to doodle or draw, whatever. And you know, I had a group of friends. Like I was pretty like friendly with people. Definitely wasn't the popular girl, but like I had friends I would like hang out with, you know. And there's this guy named, I think, Jack. I think Jack's the one. Not my other friend Jack, like Jack from Ohio. Jack to name drop. He like watched us like pass down this little notebook of like the 4 of us, and we were just saying like, hi, like, oh my gosh, like da da da, like really cute stuff. Class ends, my one friend hands it to me, okay? I don't look at it. I just put it in my desk. And it was like a signed desk, so we didn't take our stuff with us. So like people can go through your desk, right?
Yeah.
Jack saw us passing notes in class and brings it to the teacher after class, like probably doing the thing he should have done. But it's one of those things. It's like, dude, like, come on.
What
so
a
then he
snitch.
brings it to the teacher and he's like, hey, like Symonne and da were like passing notes in class, whatever. So the teacher looks through it. On the last page that I never read, it was the meanest things you can say about this girl in our class. That was like kind of newer. It was the meanest. They like drew pictures of her in the notebook, but because class is over, I just put it in there and I left for the day. It was the last class of the day. My parents get a call and they're like, we're sending someone to detention or whatever. And they're like, detention? Like, she's never even gone to be in her life. What do you mean? So then this whole story gets explained about how my friends wrote this stuff in my notebook. So they all brought us into the principal's office one by one, made us write sentences on a piece of paper to try to match up the handwriting for all the kids to see who wrote this. But the handwriting was so similar that they gave all of us a detention, me included, even though I was like, this is not me. But they're like, it's your notebook. You look the most at fault. And I'm like, I didn't know this stuff was written until right now.
Wow. Wait, that's some spy shit. Getting you all to write out.
I was like, that is so smart, but it's a little insane.
Wow. That's insane.
So that's like a fake friend story for sure. Like the fact
that
your
one
friends
of them just really let you fall with them.
True, like confess it. Just say, you know, that
like
was
that
me.
was us.
But nope.
Wow.
So all 4 of us in detention.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually have a crazy story, but like they were my friends, but like now I'm not friends with them. But one of my friends, I literally called my friend before and was like, can I share this story? And she's like, probably not, but like whatever. But
whatever.
Basically, like I was kind of like an add-in to the group, and I always kind of felt like they didn't really like me.
Okay.
Just like weren't my people. Also, they're just like
they're like friends.
They're also just like
before.
mean people, and I don't classify as one of those people.
Yeah.
But they were super not nice to my best friend, and I feel like sometimes when you're like an outspoken person, people will be like, "Oh, you're mean," and it's like, no, I just have boundaries, and I don't let you like with people and be a horrible human. And like these people were so mean to my friend at one point, and I was like absolutely like line crossed. Like, I hate all of you, you're horrible people. Like unfollowed all of them on Instagram. And like I love my friend to death, but like she's such a people pleaser. Yeah. And so like she's like honestly still nice to these people. Honestly. It's okay to be a people pleaser. Like I'm still a people pleaser. But like when I tell you, like I was like the fighting guard of this. Like I was literally like, do not be friends with these people. Like, these are horrible people.
We're
and
very
like,
similar in that way.
and like, they all like basically just like stopped being friends with her. And I was the only person that was friends with her for like 2 years. Now she's like reconciled with them. Who knows why? But they basically told her like, hey, we're doing grad pictures Thursday at 3, which is like where like you wear your dress.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
your
with like
prom
all the
dress or like
little-
just like a nice dress. And then your gown, and then you go take pictures. And she was like, yeah, like she kept telling me like, oh, I'm going to take pictures with the girl group on like
Yeah.
Thursday or whatever. And then like one of the girls randomly like the day before like came forward and felt bad in the group. It was like, hey, like I need to be honest with you. Like we're not taking pictures on Thursday. Like we're actually doing them on a completely different day. And like we just told you that.
Why would they even go out of their way to do
The
that?
anger that like rages within me about this story. And my friend is the nicest person.
And knowing that's like anyone in general, that's annoying, but also knowing your best friend, you're like, why would they do that?
I'm like, that's so horrible.
So she was just gonna like show up. And
They were going to let her show up in her f***ing makeup, her dress, and her gown, and just like be at the gymnasium by herself. And I was
wanna
like,
give her
I
a
hope nothing
hug.
good ever happens to like any of you. Like
That
what?
is that's actually really bad.
So, I mean, one of the girls came forward, so like, whatever. They were nice, I guess. Or one person was nice and like felt bad. But I'm like, the fact that like you even thought to like, all these people are going to see this and be like so mad. But like,
they're gonna be like,
I would never even like, yeah, I would
They
never
deserve-
even
should we
think
name
to
drop?
do that to someone. I'm like, that's just so horrible.
can we just
Like-
talk about like if people are doing that, like they're not your friends? Or,
Yeah.
like if people date one of your exes, they're not your friends.
Oh my
if people
God.
talk to the guy you're talking to, they're not your friends. Like
It's like,
let's make a list of things because I feel like
yes.
people are like, oh, but they're my friends, so it's okay. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no, these
no,
people
it's
aren't
not.
your friends.
If
Okay.
people don't ask you to hang out and you're always asking them to hang out,
yeah, like a
probably
one-sided
not your friend.
friendship.
Like that's
Probably
one-sided.
not your friend.
Or like if your friend, this is like when people get older and like I don't really like party or like club or I don't drink or anything, but like my best friend has had so many occasions where like she's at the bar and like someone like won't leave with her. And I'm like, because they want to like hang out with a guy or like be in the club or like whatever. Like if your friend is not leaving with you when you're like out downtown or like drinking anywhere, like that is so dangerous.
Or like Ubering by yourself.
Like
even,
that is
like-
crazy just to like leave your friend. Yeah, like if your friend just doesn't even like stick by you in a situation, like I'm pretty like ride or die with my friends, and I'm also very like real with my friends. Like if my friend called me and like she's like, oh my God, my boyfriend said this, like we got in a big fight and like my friend was wrong, I'll be like, you were wrong. Like you need to go apologize to your
but
boyfriend.
that's like someone that you
Yeah.
can have long term in your life because
Yeah,
they
but
genuinely have your
yeah,
best
exactly.
interest.
And like I would want what's best for them. And I'm like, I'm not just gonna let my friends like run wild and do whatever they want. But like I completely forgot my train of thought.
That happens. That
Wait,
happens
what was I
sometimes.
saying?
The friend wouldn't leave with her or whatever.
Wait, the way everyone said something different is hilarious. Wait, I'm gonna get this.
The club.
My
You
friend
said drinking. Leave with your friends.
Ubering by yourself.
Ubering by yourself.
You know, sometimes.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Just in general, like if your friend doesn't have your back on like a situation, like somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh my God, this person really hurt my feelings and like they were horrible to me, and your friend's just like, oh, that's not my issue. I'm like,
That's insane.
that's
That's
crazy.
insane.
I would like literally like, as long as my friend didn't do anything wrong. If my friend did something wrong, I'm not just gonna like have their back no matter what. I don't
Right.
think that's like being the correct person in life. But yeah, like if someone did my friend dirty, like you're gone. I will literally never speak to you ever again.
Talking about like leaving with someone, there is like this event we're at, and like everyone's drinking. I obviously am underage, so I don't drink whatsoever. But
Oh yeah, you're so young.
not 24. But you know, my friends, it's like open bar or whatever. They're doing their thing.
Mhm,
We Ubered because of parking.
mhm.
Also parking is so stressful in LA.
No,
like-
you have to allocate like 20 extra minutes just to find a
Exactly.
parking spot. I'm
Like,
like,
sometimes I show up again 20 extra minutes
Yeah.
early, and sometimes I get lucky and I'm like, well, what do I do now? But
yeah.
then sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm running late, can't find
Yes.
spot. Like it's crazy.
Like being from a small town, I'm like so confused living here. Like everything just takes twice as long to get
Oh, for
there.
sure.
And I'm like, it takes me like 5 minutes to get everywhere in my hometown.
I know. And like an hour is like normal here. People are
Yeah,
like,
an
"What?"
hour is so even like when I go home, if I have to drive an hour, I'm like, are you kidding me? I have to drive an hour? But then when I'm here, I'm like, oh, it's only an hour.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
my brain is like it completely switches depending on where I am.
So we're at this event and it was like a clothing company.
Mm-hmm.
Like I Ubered with like one of my girlfriends, right? The owner of the clothing company was an old man. but it's like skimpy, petite clothing. Right? And I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, red flag.
Somehow she ended up at his table.
Oh.
Don't know where she's at whatsoever. Like, there's no signal in here. So I was like so confused. I was like worried because I thought she stepped outside. So I was literally running manic around this event. Find her at the table. And I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, like I just met whatever. And I was like, okay, good. Like, as long as you're okay. Like, there's a bunch of people there that we knew. The guy, I guess, was like British or like something where it's very like normal to like kiss people on the cheek.
I hate that.
Or like, you know, the side things, right?
Yeah. That makes me so uncomfortable.
But being like freshly 18 at the time, like old and like old, like probably older than my grandpa, like older than my grandpa,
like shriveled.
I was like, this is weird, and I like there might have not been any bad intentions about it, whatever. But I was like, I feel very uncomfortable, so I'm gonna leave. But I didn't want to Uber by myself. It's like 11:30 at night in WeHo.
Yeah.
So then I was like, to my group of friends, I was like, hey, like, can we like leave? And they're like, 10 more minutes. And I was like, guys, like, I feel really uncomfortable. Like, I'm just gonna go by myself then. And then I was like, you can't leave by yourself.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I do? And this is like the only time something like this has ever happened to me, you know? And obviously, like, they're drinking, they're having fun. I'm sober. This man just kissed me on the cheek. I was like, let's leave.
And my friend was like, I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'd be like, cool, we're leaving.
This is what I'm preparing for in my 20s. Cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually feel like the worst
20.
thing is when you like when you love your friends and then they do something like that.
And that's like a one-time thing. Never has happened again. You know? And I'm like, guys, like,
but
let's
it's
go
still
home.
like so disappointing because you're like, I wouldn't have done that to you.
Yeah, I was like, let's leave. We'd
I
much
left
rather, think spooky. You'd much rather be eating Dave's hot chicken and watching Gossip Girl.
Especially like if it's already 11. Like, don't get me wrong. If my friend was like, let's leave at 8, I'm like, girl, you know? But like if she was uncomfortable, I'd obviously leave. But like if someone just like wants to leave, I'm like, okay, like. But if it's like already 11, like the event has happened. Like we don't need to be there until 2 a.m. in the morning.
I think it literally was like from 10 to 2.
That's crazy.
Like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Insane.
I would not go. That's past my bedtime.
Well, you've been in a long-term relationship. How long now?
Yeah, I've been like working for 3 years.
3 years? That's amazing.
I've like chosen to like erase like everyone from my life like before meeting my boyfriend. So I'm like trying to think.
I have one story time that is crazy how long someone waited. We're going to play guess around the room. How many years, not even months, years, do you think this one guy I was friends with waited until we were both single at the same time to make a move on me? And then I rejected him.
Icon.
I want everyone to guess how many years.
Wait, I'm going to go crazy and guess 7 years.
Okay.
Wait, why do I not know who this is?
It's Jake.
Yeah, it's Jake. So we were born together. And
Wait. Is it okay, I shouldn't do that.
No, you can say it will be believed, but
We'll guess the years though also.
8.
8.
7, 4, 8.
I was gonna say 4.
It's 8. Jake was right.
8 years.
8 years.
I know my girl, guys.
8 years is crazy.
That was a really good guess, Jake.
But honestly, I respect the hustle, the commitment.
But he was also like, it's one
But
of
he
those
stopped
things-
being your friend after.
No, I stopped being friends with him.
Well, yeah, because now it's weird.
He moved to be close to me.
No, wait.
Well, I
This
I
is
was in a relationship.
wait. This is a stalker. Stalker. Red flag. Wait, I'm scared. Can we get security in here?
Now you know?
Wait, I'm gonna need an Instagram after this. You're bigger than me. I would have been like, you're weird. That was crazy.
Yeah,
Like, did he ever apologize?
probably.
We
Probably
blocked this
trauma
out.
blocked.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sure he did. But like, it was more of a like, I'm sorry, let's be friends. Versus like, I'm sorry I made you uncomfortable. Take as much time as you need.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Let's just like move on. That's like the sorry it was.
My dad does that. That's for a different day.
Different episode.
Yeah. It's called
Sorry,
Daddy
like,
Issues.
I always have something. I always have something to say. I have nothing to say.
I do leave people speechless often with my life.
I love
Trauma.
it though. It's
And
like
your
drop mic.
voice.
Yes.
I wrote a song called Best Friend Breakup. And then
Perfect for the topic.
this person actually texted me thinking it was about them. And I was like, Diva, no. But they like the way they texted me was very like, I hadn't spoken to this person in like years and we were like family. And they were just like basically coming at me and being like, it's like really crazy. You're like writing songs about me. And I literally was like, this is not about you. And they were like, oh my God, no worries. Like, hope you're doing well. I was like, what? So if I tell this story, this person's going to be mad because they made it very clear in that text that
they don't want to be spoken about.
That my version of events is not their version of events, which is fine. Like everyone has their own perspective.
It wasn't even about them.
No, it wasn't about them, but this story is.
Okay,
and so I wasn't speaking about them before and they were already mad. So now they're going to be mad. And the song definitely applied for sure. But like that song specifically was about like so many people to me. Like I've had so many people. Like I specifically had one friend and everybody knows this entire story in my town. It's like not a secret that I was like best friends with. And they got a girlfriend and they were allowed to be friends with me. And I was like very
That's the worst.
upset about it.
Fake
Honestly,
friends is like unless the guy has some like weird underlying feelings for you.
Yeah.
Oh. But then
so, you know, I'm actually nothing against her. Like I also like if like when I started dating Matt, if he was like, oh, I'm friends with this girl and she's like in love with me, I would have been like, shoot her, you know? So,
her off.
You know, I totally get it. I'm just kidding. I would never like want somebody to die, but
that's so sweet. But like,
so like, yeah, I totally get it. But it like obviously really hurt my feelings and then we were never friends and we're still not friends, but it's okay. And we move on.
Also, he should have like addressed that before hopping into a relationship.
Yeah, it was never really addressed. But
like,
you know what? Like we were young. Like now, if that situation happened, like I would expect like a full like grow up and text me and be like, hey, I can't be friends with you for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like there was never really like, and like honestly, I was actually, I don't remember when I was talking about this, but like thinking about that situation, I was texting this person like all the time and like they didn't say anything. So I didn't know that like we weren't friends, you know? And I was texting them and being like, what are you doing next weekend? Like, let's hang out.
Like you were genuinely just like being friends with the person.
And they were like, it actually makes me so sad to think about like 16, like 17-year-old me, like continuously being like, what are you doing next weekend? And they're like, oh, I'm busy. And then I'm like, what about the weekend after? And they're like, oh, I'm also busy. And like, I'm just like obliviously thinking like,
right.
Oh, like we're still friends.
You're
and then
always
like
friends with them, you know?
And it's like, if that person would have just said like, I can't really hang out with you anymore, like blatantly, I would have been like, oh, okay. Like, it's just so embarrassing, honestly.
No, but it's like obviously something that sucks to go through.
Yeah. But it's fine. They're not a fake friend. It's like totally fine. But the fake friend, she wasn't a fake friend, but this is just a crazy story. Honestly, this person's going to watch this. Your perspective can be different from mine. That's okay. This is what it felt like to me. So I was with this guy for like a month. Meanwhile, while I'm like talking to this guy, she's like, I hate him. Like he's ugly. She kept having parties at her house and being like, you can come, but like he can't. And I was like, what the f-? Like, okay, then I guess I'm just like not gonna be with this guy if like my friends hate him, right?
It also makes relationships so difficult.
Right. And then honestly,
like
I kind of just got the ick and I was like, I just want to be friends with him.
Well, also you're like, oh, my friends are looking out for me in my best interest. If they don't like that, like,
it was like,
it's not
whatever.
good for me, you know?
So I text the guy and I'm like, let's just be friends, right? And he was like, chill about it, whatever. Nice guy. And literally, like, I'm not even kidding, like 2 weeks later, there's a party. And at the time we were like a little trio. And my other best friend like comes to me and she's like, hey, did she tell you? And I was like, did she tell me what? And they were like, oh, like both, like, I'll just say their names and we can bleep it out. Like, made out. And I was like, so meanwhile, I'm finding out from like our other friend. So keep in mind, because I'm so calm, cool, and like chill, I was like, you know what? I don't like him anymore. Like I truly did not like him anymore.
That's insane.
So I was like, don't worry. Like I wasn't mad at her. I was like, hey, I just found this out from my friend.
Okay, see, that's the bigger person. I would not.
But honestly, you gotta be real though. I didn't like him anymore. So I was like, he's all yours. Like I don't want it.
Okay, I get
like
that.
if I still liked him or like there was still like this underlying thing, I obviously would have been super upset. But I was like, I literally don't want this. Meanwhile, I'm thinking like they just like made out once and it's gonna be like whatever. They make out, whatever. Then they start hanging out. To this day, they are still together.
Are you kidding me?
It's been over 4 years, I think. Oh. And me and her basically like, I swear to God, like she still claims that's not why we stopped being friends. But like not even 4 weeks after they started like dating, like we have never hung out since. And like this, I love this person. I still love her. I have so much love for her. Like, I wish we were still friends. Like,
But like that's a little insane.
yeah.
That's a lot insane.
Yeah, like basically made out with but honestly, like maybe they're just supposed to get married and like I was supposed to be the loss in it. But like
That's
I
such a
was
good
so
way to
upset
look
for
at
such a
that.
long time because I was like, and I get it even from like her perspective. Like obviously she doesn't want to be friends with me because that's hella weird and awkward. But then it's like you like chose a guy, you know?
I feel like there's a very fine line when you start dating someone and you completely lose all your friends. Because that was me,
Yeah.
my first relationship. Again, I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like the person that kind of was one of my
Yeah.
best friends. But then being in like my second relationship, I was like, when I went through that breakup, like
Mhm.
obviously I had people reach out, but I didn't have like a good core
Yeah.
of friends to like help me through that, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of just like latched on to anyone who was like checking in on me, and that was a mistake
Yeah.
101.
Well, honestly, I honestly wrote a song about this recently. It's like not out. I don't even think it's gonna like be on my album, but it was.
Album?
I think it was called. What was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically like a whole song that's like, I hope. Oh, it was called "Stupid Boy," and
Okay.
so the concept was like, I hope that like this is the love of your life. You get married, you guys have children. Like this is the happiest you've ever been in your entire life. Because like God forbid if you guys break up, like you're gonna have to say like you also lost your best friend and you lost the guy. But like if she stays,
That's a really good concept.
yeah, and so like it was like the ending line was like, so you don't regret losing your best friend over a stupid guy, and like because when you lose your best friend and then you
Also,
lose the
that was
guy,
beautiful.
you're like, thank you. When you lose
Wow.
the best friend and then you also lose the guy, you're like, oh my
You're
God, I lost both.
everything.
But it's like she hasn't lost both; she still has him. So it's like I can like always. Like the way I got over it was like clearly she's like so happy and this was like meant to be her path and like they're gonna get married and like if she's happy that's like really what I want for her. And so I'm like, God forbid if they ever break up, I'm gonna be like, we lost our friendship for what? You know?
Yeah. Just putting not all your eggs into one basket. Like when you're in a relationship, you need to be fully committed to that person. But you
Yeah.
also like have to do your own things and like you have to
Yeah.
have your separate lives because I had the relationships where our lives were so separate
Yeah.
that when we hung out, it didn't make sense. But I had the relationship where our lives were so together that we didn't have separate
Yeah.
lives. And like both of those destroyed our relationships,
Yeah.
you know? It's like having that good balance.
Yeah.
Which is super important.
Well, because honestly, they're like, she like that definitely texted me and was like, that's not why we stopped being friends. But I'm like, that seems like really coincidental. But also I'm like, if that's not why we stopped being friends,
then like what is it?
then why did you reach out to me and like think a song was about you? You know what
so
I mean?
true.
Like if you didn't do anything,
Her.
She heard that and she like.
she was like, wait. But I mean, in her defense, she was like, people are sending it to me and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but if like roles are reversed, people are sending it to me, I'd be like, this isn't about me. Like I'd be like, there's no possible way this is about me. Right?
Okay. If the shoe fits.
I don't
Okay,
know.
because you wite a lot of songs. Have you ever gotten like songs written about you?
Did
I just trigger Yeah.
I wrote one that's really sad and it's not like mean in any way. And it's called Bridesmaid and I'm pretty sure it's going to go on my album. And
wait, you keep saying album like
I'm putting out an album this year. Yeah.
oh wait, you know what?
I'm going to put out an album this year
first-
for sure.
the first
The
listener.
first to hear
Me and
it.
Jake will be fighting for first stream.
And yeah, and the first to hear about this song too. But the song's called Bridesmaid. And the whole thing basically is like, I finally found the man that I adore, but you won't be my bridesmaid anymore. And so the whole thing is like,
that would tear me to shreds.
it's so sad, honestly. It's like when you're best friends with someone, you're like, oh my God, they're going to be my wedding. And then like me and this person stopped being friends like so abruptly out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
like did not see it coming. And I just like one day expressed my feelings about something that I was upset about and thought it was so minuscule and small. And then they like overreacted and then were like super disrespectful and not like kind or caring about the communication. And then I just was like, wait, I feel really disrespected. And then I was like, I'm just not going to respond to this. And then when I would respond like 2 weeks later and be like, hi, like, I just wanted to say again, like, this really hurt my feelings, like, when you said this. And then they literally just were not, like, respectful. And we just literally have not spoken since. So
That's
abrupt.
insane.
And it's like, I literally thought you were going to be my wedding. Like, I thought you were going to be, like, my maid of honor, like, everything. And it's like.
Honestly, like, even though that absolutely sucks, at least you found out before.
So true.
Because looking back at those, like, photos, obviously, like, all memories, like, sometimes I look back and I'm like,
Mhm.
yikes, but then I'm like, oh, but that's a memory, and like that's what makes you who you
Yeah.
are. Like at least it didn't get to that point because having a wedding, it's like
Yeah.
a once in a lifetime.
It's also like
opportunity, you know?
people show their true colors, you know? Like I would rather someone show me their true colors like sooner than later. But like when I stopped being friends with this person, so many people came forward and were like, oh wait, we always felt this way. And I was like, wait,
that has happened to me.
What?
Why didn't you guys tell me?
Yeah, I'm like, why didn't you say anything? Honestly, people did. And I was like, no, like you're wrong. But like,
or sometimes like your friends, if you really like are good friends with someone, like this has like even happened with Jake. He's like, I know you're really close with this person, and like maybe I just thought they weren't my personal taste, you know? But clearly, if you're friends with someone, like I trust you, and like you know, and they at first like you know people don't normally do things that like it's like don't be friends with them, whatever. Like usually it's like little stuff either behind the scenes or just to you or like things you don't tell people about, you know? So it's like your friends want to be like respectful of you, but in the back of their minds, they like clock it. And I'm like, when you clock it, tell me.
So many people clocked it and I did not clock it.
Communication, I think, is like the center
of
everything. And like, even if people communicate in different ways, I think like a big part about even like doing this project and like having such an amazing team is I tell them like, if you need something or if you don't like something or like something needs to be handled different, like I would rather you just tell me so we can address it and move on versus like you like holding, like it turns into like maybe a grudge or like it builds up thing and like it's not even on purpose, but then eventually you guys will start resenting each other and it's like everyone, especially when it's like a team, like everyone works so well together and I'm so lucky to have my amazing team. And it's like I'm friends with them before we even started this project for years, you know, and it's like let's just like, and there hasn't honestly been an incident where we're like, oh, I didn't like that or like whatever, but I'm like, if it ever comes about, just like tell me.
I actually feel like communication is like the biggest thing ever.
It literally makes or breaks it because even if like you're angry about something, like, oh, I could have approached that better. Sometimes it's better than holding it in because when I hold in things, like I low-key like shut down.
Yeah, same.
When I don't speak my mind, like in the nicest way possible. Even if it's like 2 or 3 days later, like if I just never tell that person, my body will like shut down.
Honestly, I'm like, I feel like you should be able to tell your friends anything. Like my friends like want to come to this. I'm like, no, I hate that person and they're rude to you. Like, and my friend's like, okay. Exactly. But my friend knows that I'm like so straight up and I'm like, I will just say it how it is. But I'm like, even like resolution, like my friend that I'm like not friends with anymore. Like we had never gotten in a fight in like 4 years of a friendship. We'd never had to really communicate about anything. Right. There was definitely things that happened and I was like upset, but it like wasn't big enough.
Yeah, it kind of just like eventually went away.
Yeah, and then I was like, whatever, I just don't want to start anything. And I always thought to myself, like, no, there's no way if I got in a fight with this person, like it couldn't be like resolved. Like, I don't know. And then like literally like the only time we ever get in a fight and it's like literally something so small. I didn't even think it was a fight. I literally was like, oh, I'm just going to express this. And she's just going to respond and be like, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. I can't believe this. Oh my God. And it turned into like this crazy whole thing. And like even like months, like it's been like a year, like we haven't spoke at all. And like I told one of my friends, I was like, if you texted me and said something upset you, even if for like a week, I was like, no, like Symonne's wrong. Like she's in the wrong. I would definitely wake up one day and be like, this isn't worth losing my friendship over.
Oh,
like,
exactly.
Even if I thought I was right, I would still be like, I was wrong. Like just to like make you feel better and make you feel supported. Or like there also doesn't need to be like a right and wrong. There can just be like, this is what I felt. This is what you felt. And like, I understand how I made you feel that way and I won't do that again. Right? Like
I feel like
4 years is crazy to just like drop an entire thing over like, but I guess I didn't know that we weren't good communicators because we never had to.
Right.
Whereas like I have another best friend that I'm like, hey, you, like my best friend Melissa is like the queen and I love her. And like, I'll be like, this upset me. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. Never does it again.
Yeah. I feel like honestly, like it's very rare. Like someone, I forget who, like tell me like, do you, like you and your friends like fight? And I was like, fight? I was like, what?
Wait, that's also a red flag.
Fight? Like friends fight?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a red flag if you're fighting with your friends.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, like there's been little things where I'm like, hey, like I didn't like that. Like, but it's like once in like every 5 friends I have.
Yeah.
And I talk
or like once every 3 years I have to be like, oh, like I would have liked if you did this earlier instead of that. And then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then like you'd never fight ever again.
And then that's
not even a fight. It's just like, hey, you're just mentioning it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think I've genuinely like someone that I've known for, well, except the 8 years, but someone I've known for like a very long extended period of time, or even someone I met like pretty quick and just became really close with them. Like I genuinely can't think of like a huge friend fight.
Yeah, me neither.
I've had, you know, because that just doesn't, if you're genuinely friends with the person, you don't like fight.
Something so horrible could happen, and I think I would still find a way to like resolve it with my friend.
Yeah, like unless
they like slept with my boyfriend or something. My boyfriend would also never, like, my favorite thing about my boyfriend is that, like, if anyone was to approach him ever, he's like, I hate you. Like, leave me alone. Like,
even though I've never met him, like, you just speak so highly of him that, like,
I love
low-key,
him.
like, I'm a fan. But I feel like it's one of those things where, like, it's so rare, and, like, it's because I've seen the difference in guys. Where, like, I would be dating someone, I'm like, no, there's no way they would do that. And then they do, and you're like, oh, cool. But then there's actually the type of guy where, like, they genuinely, like, no matter what celebrity was in front of them, would not do it. And I feel like that's your boyfriend.
My boyfriend, like, people are always like, where can I find that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where he came from. Like, I don't know if more exist. Like, he's just, like, such a rare human.
Because you genuinely know. It's not like you're love goggled.
No, I'm like, I've been with him for 3 years. I'm like, I would, like, not, like, he would never in a million years, like, ever cheat on me, ever. Like, that's just not his character as a person.
Does he live in Canada?
Yeah, we live together in Canada.
Wait, that's so cute.
I know.
Also, with, like, you touring and traveling, like, he must be, like, so...
I'm like, I truly thought I was gonna be, like, single until I was, like, 35. And then, like, have to, like, adopt a child, like, by myself. Or, like, inseminate myself. Like, I literally was, like... I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna, like, find someone in general. And then 2, like, find someone that's so supportive of, like, me just being gone all the time and like the lifestyle that I have and like, you know, everything. And like, he was like, I've never once like been made to feel bad that I'm like gone for 2 months or like, you know what I mean? Like, he's an angel of all angels. I know. I'm like, wait, like, I don't know what I did.
Good topic to end on. Like, how did you guys like meet? I feel like it's very rare. Like, there's a couple people in my life where I'm like, okay, I can see you guys lasting for a very long time.
No, I'm like, we're getting married.
Oh,
I'm like, he's gonna propose in the next 2 years. It's part of my timeline.
Well, is he aware of the timeline?
Yeah, he's aware of the timeline.
Okay, cool.
He's agreeing. He agrees on the timeline.
Well, that means like you've been together for like 5 years.
I also I don't want to be like get engaged and then like
married right away.
Well, like who knows? Like I don't want my boyfriend to not propose to me because like I'm on tour. I'd rather he just propose and then be like, maybe like, yeah, we're engaged. So like, God forbid I'm on a tour for like a year. I'd rather be engaged and on tour than like wait till after. So like I could see like there's a world where maybe I'm engaged for like 3 years or something because I want to like have the time to plan my wedding and like do it right. So I'm like, I would rather be engaged than not engaged. And like if we're engaged for 4 years, we're engaged for 4 years. Like as long as like there's a ring, I'm happy.
I think it's better to do it though.
Yeah.
You're on with your mic and you're like.
My boyfriend's literally like, oh God, like she probably won't shut up about this. I'm like, put a ring on it.
I love that though. I like drive like one day I'm gonna like rewatch this video in however many years and be like,
wait, we can play it at my wedding.
Yes.
I love this.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
But I was gonna say, do you know what I do at the end of every episode? But I have a yearbook and I put everyone's photos that came in on the season. So it's time to take your yearbook photo.
Oh my God. My yearbook quote was, well, I have a tattoo that says "Make it happen." So my yearbook was like "Make it happen."
That's so cute.
But then I wrote underneath, "Stream my music on Spotify."
Yes, we love.
And that's how you manifest, baby.
Yeah.